Hello, and welcome to Yoga Club with Caregiving 101. I'm Bob. I'm here with Kevin. We're on our yoga mats this afternoon for 15 minutes of spine strengthening work. So grab your yoga mat, turn some light background music on. If you're not getting to the floor today, you can follow along with us in your yoga chairs. Some of the spine strengthening translates quite easily to sitting up, and spine strengthening is so important and vital for us. We are opening the spine and closing the spine, helping to bring strength to the spine, and through our strength, we find our flexibility. And so much of the health of our body is tied to the health of our spine. So let's start out with our breathing like we normally do, with our big full breath cycles, inhaling to fill the lungs up, hesitating at the top of the breath, and then exhaling to empty the lungs out. So important to start any yoga work with a good solid breathing exercise that helps to ground us, helps us to bring our vision internal to our body and heighten our awareness of our body's movement. And once we find the flow of our breath, incorporating the movement in our body is right along with that. So big full inhales, big full exhales, trying to slow down the breathing cycle, elongate and extend the breathing cycle, finding that hesitation at the top of your breath and the hesitation at the base of your breath, and trying to fill your lungs up a little more full every breath cycle that you take. So one more inhale. One more exhale. Now let's come up to all fours, coming up to tabletop posture. And our tabletop, remember, our wrists are directly below our shoulders and our hands are shoulder width apart, and our knees are directly below our hips, and our knees are hip width distance apart. From the side, your body looks like a box. We're working to get the back flat. The crown of the head is forward, and you're breathing big and full and deep here. Big full inhales. Big full exhales. Now from this place, we are going to do some cats and cows. If you are seated in your yoga chair, you can translate this very easily into a seated position posture. And if you are on the mat and you have problems in your knees or in your wrist and it becomes painful to be in this place, join me in a seated posture and we can do our cats and cows from here as well. So take a nice big inhale, and then with the exhale, push away from the floor, bring your chin into your throat, round your shoulders, round your back. Hesitate up at the top of the breath. And then with the exhale, let that go. Let your belly fall. Scoop your lower tailbone. Open up your heart and chest and take your eye gaze up in cow posture. Now we have the back of the spine compressed. Hesitate, and then with the exhale, let it go. Rounding the back and spine again. If you're in your seated position, you're hanging off of your knees. If you're in your chair, you are just rounding your back, bringing your chin into your throat. And then with the inhale, let that go. Belly falls through with gravity. Scoop the lower tailbone. Open up the chest. Take the eye gaze up to the ceiling. And then with the exhale, let's come back to neutral. So we were doing that to warm up our spine as we prepare for our spine strengthening. So now bend your elbows and come down on the mat, flat on the mat for some spine work. We carry so much stress and tension in our back and spine, and we have so much issues with pain in the lower back. And the best way to take care of that and eliminate it is by strengthening the spine. So we're going to focus and start on the base of the spine right now with a posture that's called Bhujangasana or Cobra pose. So we want our hands in tight with the body. The palms are facing down, thumbs are in tight with the chest, and the fingertips are under the shoulders. So the elbows are up like you've got cat ears or cricket legs. We're focusing on the strength of the lower spine. Try to keep the tops of the feet on the floor and try not to press the feet into the floor. If you need to engage something, engage your quadriceps. Exhale all the air out of your lungs, and on the inhale, start to peel up off the floor using your lower spine strength. So we're calling on the strength of the lower spine to help lift our upper body against gravity as you hold it for 3, 2, 1. Release it. Nicely done. Left ear on the mat. Face the right side of the room. Arms down by your side. Palms face up and breathe. So we were calling on the strength of the lower spine to lift the upper body against gravity. That gives us a little bit of a compression and constriction at the base of the spine. And when you come back to this neutral place in Savasana, you're allowing for free and even flow of freshly oxygenated blood throughout the body. So now we're going to leave the lower spine and go to the upper spine in a posture that is called Salabhasana or half locust. So now we want the chin forward on the mat, palms face down, and lift one side of the body and then the other as you work to get the arms underneath the body. You're working to get the pinky fingers side by side and touching, and working to get the elbows completely under the body. But if this is the first time you've done it, it may be a little impossible because we're also calling on the upper part of the arm and the shoulders to relax and release and open. So if this is painful at all, just back out of it a little bit until you find a place that's only uncomfortable, and that's where you need to be today. So now relax your left leg, engage your right leg, and then with the inhale, lift the right leg up. You're stretching the toes toward the back wall, and the stretch is more important than the lift. And then you're using the strength of your quadricep, not your hip, to lift your leg up. So as you lift the right leg up, try to push the right hip down. Hold it for 3, 2, 1, and then release it. Now relax the right leg and engage the left leg. Exhale all the air out of your lungs, and on the inhale, pick the left leg up. Stretch the toes toward the wall behind you like you think you can touch it, and then use the strength of the quadricep to lift the leg up as you push the left hip down, trying to hold on to the connection of your hip bone and your forearm for 3, 2, 1, and gently release it. Now the third part of the posture, we want our neck in a neutral position. So you want to face your mat and towel, put your lips on the towel or your yoga mat like you're trying to kiss it. That'll get your neck into a neutral position. And then like Kevin just did, walk your hands a little deeper down towards your knees if you can. Spread your fingertips. That'll give you better leverage. And remember, we're focusing on the upper spine. So exhale all the air out of your lungs. And then on the inhale, press your palms into the floor as you start to lift both of your legs. So with the inhale, you're pressing the weight forward into your shoulders, then engaging the upper spine and using the strength of your core, quadriceps, inner thighs, and glutes to lift the lower body. Hold it for 3, 2, 1. Release it. Coming down slow with control. Now put your right ear on the mat, face to the left. Hands out from underneath your body. Palms are facing up. Arms are by your side. And breathe. Now in the third part of the posture, if you could just barely get your legs up off the floor, that's okay. What we are doing here is building strength in the quadriceps while we start to bring strength to our upper spine. Take a nice big inhale and a nice big exhale. Next up, we are going to focus on the middle part of the spine with Purna Salabhasana, full locust pose. So chin is forward on the mat, and you want your arms out in a T shape with the palms facing down. The legs are together, strong and engaged. Toes and heels are touching. Exhale all the air out of your lungs, and on the inhale, begin to lift everything up. So you're using the strength of your middle spine to lift your upper body, and once again, the strength of the quadriceps to lift the legs. As you get deeper into this posture like Kevin is right now, you'll start to balance on your hip bones as you open up your heart and chest and take your eye gaze up to the ceiling, holding it for 3, 2, 1. Release it. Very nice. Left ear on the mat, face the right side of the room. Arms are down by your side again with your palms facing up. And breathe. When you come back to this place of balance, alignment, and symmetry, you're allowing for oxygenated blood to flow freely throughout the body, to the right and the left, to the head, to the toes. So wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. That will encourage the oxygenated blood flow and increased circulation. It's one of the huge benefits that we get out of our yoga practice. So now from full locust, we're going to go to bow pose, Dhanurasana. And in Dhanurasana bow pose, you're using the strength of your whole spine. So lift up both legs, grab the feet from the outside at the ankles, thumbs stay side by side. And Kevin, let's show the modification here. So if you can't get both legs at the same time, grab one leg and then send the other arm forward. That'll allow you to stretch and use the strength of part of your body at a time. So exhale all the air out of your lungs, and on the inhale, begin to lift up. You're using the strength of your upper body, your whole spine, to lift your chest off of the mat, and using the strength of your quadricep to kick your leg up as you hold it for 3, 2, 1. Gently release it. Right ear on the mat, face the left side of the room, arms down by your side, palms face up, and breathe. Take a nice big inhale and a nice big exhale. Now let's do the other side if you're only able to grab one leg at a time. So now chin is forward on the mat again. Now grab the other leg and send the other arm out. Exhale all the air out of your lungs, and on the inhale, let's lift up. Using the strength of the whole spine to lift the upper body. You've got a compression in your whole back, and your heart and chest is lifted. And then you're using the strength of your quadricep to start to lift your leg up as your eye gaze goes to the ceiling and your toes stretch straight up to the ceiling for 3, 2, 1. Nicely done. Left ear on the mat, face the right side of the room, arms are down by your side, palms face up, and breathe. Take a nice big inhale and a nice big exhale. So I'm going to ask Kevin to do a third set of floor bow here so you can see how it's done with both legs engaged at the same time. So chin is forward on the mat. Lift up both legs. Grab the feet from the outside at the ankle. Thumb stays right there with the index finger, and you bring your knees back together to start. And try not to let your knees open up. As you're lifting into the posture, we're focusing on the strength of the whole spine. So exhale all the air out of your lungs, and on the inhale, begin to lift up. Use the strength of the whole spine to lift the upper body, and the strength of the quadriceps to lift the legs up. Pressing your abdomen into the floor for a solid foundation. Hold it for 3, 2, 1. Gently release it. Right ear on the mat, face the left side of the room, arms down by your side. Palms face up, and breathe. Take a nice big inhale and a nice big exhale. So through the work in our spine strengthening series, we started with Cobra Pose, where we were focusing on the lower spine, then went to half locust, where we were focusing on the strength of the upper spine, and then we went to full locust, Purna Salabhasana, where we were focusing on the strength of the middle spine. And then Dhanurasana bow pose, we are tying it all together and using the strength of the whole spine. As we strengthen our spine, we start to find flexibility in our spine that will help to relieve lower back pain, upper back tension and strength, and give us more strength in the middle of the spine, helping with our posture, helping us to sit upright. Breathe. Nice big inhale and a nice big exhale. So let's bring the hands up underneath the shoulders. Let's push back up. First, coming up to tabletop again. So the wrists are below the shoulders, hands are shoulder width apart, knees are below the hips, and the knees are hip width apart, and the back is flat. From here, you can take big, full breath cycles. So now let's take a quick trip back to child's pose. So inhale, and then with the exhale, send the hips back to the heels. Going to child's pose after you have compressed your back and spine feels so good, because in child's pose you were just letting your spine go, relaxing and releasing and opening the spine with every exhale that you take. So big full inhale and a big full exhale. With every exhale, you are just letting it go. And actually, your child's pose has several variations as well. Kevin has his arms stretching forward, and if he wanted to engage the posture with his inhale, he would stretch his fingertips forward, and with the exhale, melting completely toward the floor. And then with a more passive child's pose, you're just melting into the floor with your inhale and with your exhale. And then if you want a completely passive child's pose, arms come down by your side with your palms facing up, and you're just melting into the floor. So every time you get in child's pose, there's the option for you to choose the child's pose that is working for you at that given moment in your yoga practice. Big full inhales, big full exhales. One more inhale, one more exhale. Now with the next inhale, let's push back up, leaving our child's pose and first coming back up to tabletop. So finding your tabletop, wrists below your shoulders, knees below the hips. Try to get your fingertips spread and orient your palms so that your fingertips are pointing toward the top of the mat. That will help you to align your shoulders and take the pressure out of your shoulders. Big full inhales, big full exhales. Now let's cross the feet over and come back to a seated position. It's time for our final savasana. You can take your final breathing exercise from a seated place if you choose, or if you are comfortable lying back, make sure that you're in the middle of your mat and lie back flat, taking your savasana in a fully reclined place. If you're on your back, your arms are down by your side with your palms facing up, and your toes and heels are touching, and your toes are falling open. This is a neutral place. It allows for free and even flow of the oxygen. If you're on your back, you are completely relaxing, letting the floor hold you up and focusing on your breath. If you are seated, your sitting bones are squared on the floor, your chest is lifted, your back and spine is straight, shoulders are relaxed and down, chin is parallel with the floor, and with every inhale, you're filling your lungs up completely full, hesitating at the top of the breath, and with the exhale, you are emptying your lungs out completely, hesitating at the base of your breath. So big full inhales, big full exhales. This is the most important moment in your class, focusing on your breath. Big full inhales, big full exhales. Stay in your savasana as long as you like. If you have another 5 minutes to be here, that's the perfect place to be, focusing on your meditation and your breath. That's what our yoga is all about. For now, we'll sign off. Have a wonderful rest of your day. We look forward to seeing you back again on the yoga mat or in your yoga chair for another session of Yoga Club. Until we meet again on our yoga mat, the light in me honors the light in you, with the awareness that when we are in our yoga class, our lights are burning twice as bright. Namaste.